what we're seeing Trump do is appoint an anti-globalist like Stephen Bannon, who they're calling racist and a Nazi and, you know, all this made-up crap, who I know is a patriot. And then they'll also appoint Reince Priebus, who's an establishment wonk who can kind of navigate things. And I said this yesterday, and it's being repeated now, and that's what actually the campaign's saying is, you know, Trump and Bannon steer the ship. They give the orders, and the guy at the wheel is Priebus. We'll see what happens. But that's what Trump does, is he'll have both sides in his organization to try to control them all. Giuliani's got his big issues, his stop and frisk, all that, big problems with him. But he was instrumental in a lot of the stuff that came out that actually helped bring down Hillary. I get what Trump's doing, rewarding people that helped him. But John Bolton, as Rand Paul has warned in an article on Infowars.com, don't appoint pro-war Bolton Secretary of State. Bolton is a true piece of work. You've got all this detente. You've got Russia and the United States coming towards each other when there's no reason to be fighting. And Bolton is somebody that has been on Fox News every time I turn around, basically as hawkish as Hillary. So I hate to say lesser of two evils. I mean, can't we have, you know, they're talking about Secretary of State. I mean, I get that's not military, but it's still important. Can't we get somebody that exposed the government was running Al-Qaeda and ISIS like a General Flynn? But UN John Bolton, he was the ambassador, U.S. ambassador to the UN, John Bolton, also being considered along with Giuliani. The article's up on Infowars.com. Another article, the same communists that attacked us at the abortion clinic protest we had last year, pointing out that most people aborted are black, even though they're 13% of the population. Whether you like abortion or not, we're pointing out that it's racially targeted because we're so racist, we don't want to kill the black people. Communist protesters arrested for assaulting Trump backers in Austin. These are some of the same folks that assaulted us, and you look at them, they look like their souls have been sucked out. This particular guy is the one that goes, I kill my kids. I love killing my kids. When we come back from break, I'm going to play a clip of that sickening evil. But that's what working for evil does to you. I mean, look at these people. And they had folks, though, driving around in brand new Jaguars and Mercedes, dropping them off, that would drive by them and wave cash in the air. I mean, these are just soulless people, in my opinion. Anthony Freda, I want to thank you for all the time. I want to spend the last few minutes with you. I don't know if you want to get into it. It was the most important part of the interview, but I don't know if you want to go there, about what type of stuff you saw behind the scenes with, you know, artists and people, what they were saying about Trump, the false flag stuff you told me about.
Yeah, you know, you ain't seen nothing yet, man. I know what they're planning, and it's going to be relentless false flags, relentless demonization, relentless. They are dedicated to this narrative that anyone who supports Trump is a Nazi, is a racist. He hates everybody who is not a white male. Now, I think that whole paradigm is built on a falsehood, and I think it's easily provable, but they don't care. And they are dedicated to destroying and ripping apart this country. And it's not just, you know, the Soros guys busting, it's real people. They're victims, you know, and I think we have to reach out to them. Listen, I'm a middle of the road guy. I'm not partisan. I'm like Gerald, you know, political atheist. But what's going on here is racial warfare. And what you predicted 10 years ago, I've listened to you a long time. And I'll never forget, you said, like, you know, if this keeps going, there's going to be like a race war on the street. And everybody laughed at you. Like, it's the most absurd notion you could possibly imagine in America. Well, we're about this close to that actually happening. So you're always prescient. You see trends and you see where they can lead to. And 9 out of 10 times, you're right.
Well, Anthony, I appreciate that, but really it's not me. It's history. It does repeat. It does rhyme. Let's do 5 more minutes. I know you have to go, AnthonyFreda.com. I want to come back, because I forgot to get to this, and get more into what you can tell us behind the scenes with top artists and what they're planning, false flags against Trump. Again, that's setups, folks. That's frame-up. Planes, I'm not leaving the country. It was all a joke. You're dumb. But look at this quote she says of Donald Trump, and they put it up, and it's him talking about how dumb conservatives are, how he's not a conservative, how he hates his constituents, from supposedly 20 years ago. We'll put it back on screen. It's a fake news article, trimmed out of the newspaper, yellowed paper, meant to deceive you. That's a false flag, folks. And that's what Anthony Freda, over a year ago, started contacting us with intel. Watch out for this, watch out for that. They're going to plant racist stuff on you on the web, on the street. And then we saw it happen. And it's incredible that we're going to start seeing all of this, but it's the underhandedness. So as much as you can tell us, I mean, because again, you've been on most of the major covers in the country. You know these folks. You're there. And the type of things they talk about, what they say, what they do, and then what you say to them. Because you said, we ain't seen nothing yet.
No, these guys aren't done. They're planning to they're doubling down. They're doubling down on the racist thing, and they want to rip this country apart along racial lines, tragically and sadly and unnecessarily. Um, and they're going to do with every trick in the playbook. We know the tricks. If you've read Machiavelli, or if you studied Karl Rove, you know all the ways to discredit your enemy and to attribute all the evils in the world to them, and at the same time glorify your candidate or your position. So you're going to see false. We're already seeing it. People writing on the street, "I love Hitler and Donald Trump," and then it's on 60 Minutes. I mean, give me a break. I mean, it's so obvious. People can't see it. They're blind. Everybody is blind to obvious false flags that are almost at a childish level, a third grade level. Like my son can see through it, who's 12 years old, because I introduced the concept to him at a very early age. So he sees it. He tells me, "Dad, that's a false flag." It's like it's about education. But people want to believe things that they're already prejudiced to believe, and they want to discard things that don't, reinforce.
And
that.
by the way, almost all of the swastikas on the campuses and all this has turned out are fake, done by people just for more attention.
Absolutely, it's fake. It's so obvious, it's so patently fake to me. I mean, just look at it. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna draw a swastika. And I love Donald Trump, and I want to. But here's another thing that gets me crazy about this whole anti-Semite, and he's the Ku Klux Klan thing. It's like his daughter and his grandchildren are Orthodox Jews. Okay, he wants to kill them, put them in concentration camps. I have friends of mine who are Mexican Americans, good people, smart people. They think he's going to deport all Americans. And they're promoting that idea. They think he's going to deport everybody who, if you ate a taco, you get deported. I mean, it's crazy. It's like.
And then CNN comes out this morning, I was watching it, and goes, he needs to call for peace and admit he's not doing all this to make everybody feel better and not be scared, when they're the ones that need to admit they lied.
Yeah, it's really, listen, if I can give the best piece of advice I give to this, I gotta say, I'm an objective person. I'm trying to look at this objectively, but okay, they're calling the Trump supporters racist and deplorable. Hillary broke the cardinal rule of politics. You can attack your opponent, but don't attack his supporters, because if you win, that's your constituency. You just and guess what? You're not going to win because you just alienated all of them. They're never going to come to your side. So I really think that's where Hillary blew it, despite the fact that she's a lying, warmongering, corrupt, horrible human being. The fact that she attacked Trump supporters and not just Trump was incredibly damaging.
It showed her arrogance, Anthony, and I agree with you.